views, information, or opinions expressed during the Geeks Under the Influence podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of RVA Magazine, Loot Crate, amzn.to, or their employees. Listener discretion is advised. Fuck off if you don't like it.
There's something to be said about Keanu, like, with his bad acting. It's so bad that it becomes good in many circumstances.
Yeah.
It comes full circle. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It reaches all the way around.
And then punches itself in the asshole.
Yes, that Keanu acting is a lot like a reach around. Yes. Where it's not as good as it could be, but it's still better than nothing, you know.
Well, I'm telling you, if you took him out of the Matrix, it just wouldn't be the same.
No. Oh God, no.
On any level, he just you know.
Who would you put in there in his place?
Right. I mean, you can't really think of anybody who's going to make it more enjoyable than he did.
I can.
You can think of people who maybe do.
No.
If you say
God
Jay,
damn, seriously, we haven't even started the fucking credits. You're already starting off with that.
What? He would have been like what? 18?
We've asked you to
Maybe.
jerk off in the bathroom before the show about him, so you didn't have these thoughts.
Been a baby. He would no.
Hey guys, maybe you want to fight like the
We're gonna put you in
something?
Jay Baruchel, like, you know, conversion therapy.
That's your Neo voice. That's your Neo voice for this.
It's gonna be like a Jay Baruchel Clockwork Orange, where my eyes are peeled open and I'm watching She's Out of My League, and every time he comes on screen, I get an electric shock. Is that?
Yeah.
Is that
To your nuts.
No, up his ass.
Oh, up
his
both.
ass.
Both.
Okay.
And your nipples.
And the nipples.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Maybe even under the armpits.
Oh,
you
dear.
don't think that?
You're
That's
gonna
hurt.
You're gonna hate that fucker.
Yeah. When you see him next, it'll be like a Manchurian Candidate. So you're just gonna be taking out Jay Baruchel.
He's gonna be PETA in the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
He's gonna be PETA in the Hunger Games.
Jay Baruchel is gonna show up on the Teen Choice Awards, and I'm gonna start just twitching randomly. Yeah.
You're just gonna go up to the balcony. You're gonna find the gun that you didn't know that you left there. You're gonna put it all together, and you're gonna snipe his ass.
Yeah. But like,
A little John Wick style.
Yeah, a little John Wick action with a little Manchurian Candidate thrown in for good measure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then you'll cry.
All right, so
And
what
weep.
would we want to see Keanu acting in that would just enrich it so much greater? Like stuff like bombs, stuff that is bomb that would be better if Keanu was in it.
I've already thought of the best one, the Matrix reboot, just for funsies.
What?
Is that even a reboot at that point? If
No.
you use the same,
Yeah, it's the same.
No, you put him as Morpheus or something. You
No.
never actually
No.
put him as
No. You get the gay market and you put him in as Trinity
Yes.
There you go.
Tranny
with
style.
Jay Baruchel as Neo.
He is a
you
pretty
son of a
man
bitch.
who could be a pretty transgendered something.
Hasn't he played a role like that where he did a little like cross-dressing or dressed up like a woman or something?
That was David Duchovny, and that was Twin Peaks. That's different
I
thing
didn't-
entirely.
We are already circling the drain.
Trust
man.
me. I know my cross-dressing roles very well, and it was not.
He was in Tu Wong. Whoa, and thanks for everything.
Wait, was that the sequel?
It was the crossover episode. It was To Bill and Ted. Thanks for everything.
Yeah.
Julie Newmar.
I think we have the title now.
They went back in time and they dated a cross-dressing John Leguizamo.
There
and,
you go.
Yeah.
Which you got to give him love because he's kept that shit. The Bill and Ted number 3. He's kept that shit alive. That was supposed
Forever.
to die for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
He is still working on that.
absolutely.
As soon as he can stop shooting people,
A lot of actors
get to that.
have those pet projects where they really want to recommit to playing a character again, and depending on studio interest, sometimes it takes them 10 years. Like Ryan Reynolds with Deadpool, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, though, Keanu would just fall right into that. He's never really gotten out of that, so it would just be like, hopping on the bike again.
I used to joke that he trained so hard for Bill and Ted that he just became that character.
Seriously, like he's not going to have an issue going back. to
No,
that, like,
no,
at
not at
all.
all.
It just
And
fall
Alex
right back
Winter
in.
is just sitting back there somewhere going, come on. I got to pay my rent. I got to pay my rent.
Yeah, and goddamn it, I want to see that Bill and Ted 3. And we're going to talk a little bit about Bill and Ted's a lot about Bill and Ted, a lot about all the other Keanu Reeves movies, our interest in a third Bill and Ted on an episode dedicated to all things Keanu Reeves. This is going to be a lot of fun because he's one of those actors that isn't exactly known for his acting prowess, but still, for some reason, we love him anyway. So that's what we're talking about on episode 112 of Geeks Under the Influence. Keanu Reeves, welcome.
Under the Influence.
Yay!
Whoa.
Yep.
I said on the group message that it's going to be nearly impossible for this episode not to be named Whoa. I watched a compilation earlier today where it had all the woes from the different Keanu Reeves movies, and it was a 5-minute and 22-second long supercut.
Enjoyed every second of it.
Yeah, and it was well before Bill and Ted that he did that. So
yeah.
he even had it in fucking Dracula.
Yeah, he did woe in
He
Dracula.
woed in
He
Dracula.
wrote in Dracula.
How do you woe in Dracula is definitely the front runner of the name of the episode.
I'm getting bitten.
How does that happen?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
you
so I
drink
was
blood?
sitting hungry, I was like, whoa. Like, how does that happen?
He was riding on a train, riding Winona Ryder.
Oh, this is going to be off the rails
babe.
from the get-go, I can tell already. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Another episode of Geeks Under the Influence. To my left is the host of GUI Precap, available every Monday on the same stream that you get Geeks Under the Influence on our audio. The GUI Precap host, the Bruce, is here.
Hello, 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 everybody. Hi, I'm from the future. Sorry, Trump's still president.
Yeah, he's from a week in the future. So
A
it's not
week.
like-
It's just a week.
What a useless superpower. Like, there's not anything we can do about that. We're all
much,
fucked.
it's like, well, lottery numbers. I mean, that's about the best you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm dyslexic, so that really is not helping anything.
It's like, you said it was 16. It was 61.
It's close.
All right. Thank you so much for doing your weeklies. It's nice to actually have somebody catching up all of our fans on the weekly nerddom that's happening.
Yeah, and I'm going to have a lot to talk about because San Diego Comic-Con is this week, and Jesus.
Yeah, the same day, the morning before this episode releases, there's going to be the GUI Precap releasing, and there's going to be a lot of information about stuff happening at San Diego Comic-Con because we're recording this on the Friday of San Diego Comic-Con. Also, if you're interested in any of the stuff that's happening, we're releasing articles on GUIPodcast.com about some of the trailers, some of the reveals that have been happening over the weekend at San Diego Comic-Con. So check us out at GUIPodcast.com, and also the GUI Precap every Monday morning with the Bruce, which is totally a Monday Morning Zoo
It is.
name.
Monday morning with the Bruce.
With the Bruce.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Bruce. The traffic is... No.
Yeah, exactly like that. No, let's not do
God,
that.
No, God, no. I
Let's
couldn't
not
do
do GUI traffic reports.
I
It's
could
like-
not do that for 3 hours.
That'd be bad.
Frickin' way.
Yeah, right.
We're going to Bruce in the traffic copter. And
No,
Thank you, Les Nessman.
Speaking of the eye in the sky, the weirdest of the weird, Mr. Edweird, is here to join us.
hello, how are you all today?
Wearing a Santa Cruz hat that reminds me how much I bit off that logo for the new GUI
Oh, yeah,
logo.
dude, hard.
Yes, you
Like
did.
hard.
Quite hard.
Hard off that logo.
You know what, though? It's a good logo.
It's a good logo, and I
it's
did
stood
it
the
different
test of
enough
time.
that hopefully we won't get sued by Santa Cruz, because that was not
If
the
they're
intention. Yeah, like Santa Cruz is one of our biggest listenerships. Is the whole team at Santa Cruz. Thank you, Edward, for joining us.
Absolutely. Looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's Keanu.
Yeah.
This is gonna be
Yeah.
fun. Yeah. And hopefully we won't only talk about Bill and Ted in the Matrix.
Oh, no. There's
no, man.
so much to talk about.
Yeah.
Constantine.
That's second half stuff to talk about.
there's a
Compared
lot,
to the
all
TV
kinds of
show
good
alone,
stuff.
it could be
So-
an episode.
Oh yeah, definitely. Next up is our resident German.
Jawohl.
The Socks and Sandals, Mr. Grutz is here.
I am indeed. It's going to be a good episode.
A gentleman that I know loves his super cheesy action movies, which Keanu is definitely a part of.
Oh, certainly.
I'd say that there's going to be some stuff about Point Break coming from you and Edweird as well.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Lowdown, of course, knows nothing about action movies, so he's going to be
I mean,
lost.
we can't forget about Speed, too.
Yeah, Speed and Point Breaker, like...
No, we can
Shit.
forget about Speed too.
Yeah.
Just watch
You didn't
that
like
on
one
Sunday.
he wasn't in it, so yeah.
You know why he wasn't in it? I found this out actually earlier this week. He was optioned to be in Speed 2, but he dropped it because he wanted to act in Hamlet on stage.
And
Whoa.
And he read the script.
Much to the chagrin, well, that, and much to the chagrin of everyone that went and saw that version of Hamlet.
That was him proving
It was
he could
probably
act.
still better than the fucking Speed, too. So.
Oh, God, yes.
Did he play Hamlet?
he
I mean, did he...
he played Rosencrantz. They just shoved that in there, and they're like, "Fuck it."
I couldn't see him as Hamlet. Oh God.
Next to Mr. Grutz, the German, is the smashiest of the smashes. Kyle Smashes here,
Hello.
wearing in proper Smash regard a Hulk T-shirt.
I did. It was clean.
Yeah, I like that. You
That's
put that.
why.
I got nothing else for you.
Further proof, everyone knows that we're doing this on video, so always dresses to the nines for episodes of Geeks Under the
You
Influence.
know it.
Yeah.
Coming in a suit next time with some scotch.
Next up is my right-hand man, the sexual chocolate, Mr. Lowdown Brown MacGyver is here.
What's up, guys?
Ready to talk things Keanu.
Oh yeah, like Point Break.
Yeah, Point Break
Dig.
that you know nothing about.
Nothing at all.
Nothing
No,
at all.
nothing
Yeah.
at all.
You're just going to talk about the lake house for an hour and a half. I understand.
God, is that the future movie with envelopes and Sandra
So
Bullock?
you know what it's about. Like,
I do.
I think I watched that. I did watch that once, but I remember it's at a lake house, and that's pretty much all I remember.
I was
about
forced to watch it. You know, there was activities afterwards that were
it. No,
promised.
I was dating a chick and I watched
Justified
it.
the
I'm just
watching.
saying. Yeah.
Right.
I'm with
Yeah,
you. I'm with
it's not like I went to the video store and was like, because yes, back then you still have video stores. I was like, oh yeah, I want to rent this. Fuck that.
You hit up a Blockbuster Friday night in a sad face.
Rent the lake house.
You just wanted to feel some closeness.
He likes to do his double feature of the lake house and a walk in the clouds. That's his go-to.
Yeah. The box
that?
of tissues.
Yeah, right.
What the fuck is that?
There's something
Basically, if you want to watch really shitty action stars starring in like thoughtful romantic movies, then you do Captain Corelli's Mandolin with Nicolas Cage,
Yes.
and A Walk in the Clouds with Keanu Reeves.
No.
It's kind of emphatic there. Fuck you, no.
Well, wait.
No.
We can't forget about 28 Days with what's his nuts and Sandra Bullock.
Oh, Sandra Bullock.
Oh, who was the dude in that?
Yeah, I think it was Viggo Mortensen, maybe. No,
I know. I
It
think
was
you're right.
Viggo
Yeah, it was
Mortensen.
Viggo
Yes.
Mortensen. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to go Alan Tudyk.
no, I like him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All things
He
count.
hasn't sullied himself with a rom-com yet.
28 Days taught me that all it takes to get over alcoholism is to fall in love with a busted-ass old major league pitcher that's going to cheat on you. And then you're going to do just
You're
fine.
just
Then you can pet a horse,
Yeah.
too.
You can
and
pick
yes,
up
I
a
saw that
horse's
movie.
leg.
By the way,
At that point, anything's progress.
by the way, spoilers for anybody that has not seen 28 Days from like 1998.
There's no apology there. I do not apologize for that. You're welcome. It's spoiled. Don't watch it.
Last but not least, we've got the man who puts all this shit together every week. Well, with help now, actually.
Yeah, a
Battle
little bit
up
help.
to you.
Yeah, yeah.
But we got the Hobbit.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you.
this
Thank
is our
you.
illustrious host.
Speaking of help, like that's been so immensely helpful. Getting help with the social media, getting help with getting scheduling down. We've got some people learning a lot of the technical side of things, so that's going to help out in the future, and especially with future podcasts coming out on GUI Network. All of that stuff you can find at GUIpodcast.com. You can also find links to our social media. If you want to find me on Twitter, find me at Mike Bickett, or our Twitter for Geeks Under the Influence at GUI Podcast or GUI Podcast RVA on Twitter. And yeah, that's about it. Normally at this point, I would go over our sponsors real quick before we get into the gist of things, but I'm actually going to put that in the mid-break from now on so that we can just get right into the juice.
Oh, like we used to?
Oh, like we used to, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we
I like you.
on the mid-break, we normally do Friends of the Show. We talk about Instant Replay Live and our buddies at YMM Podcast and a lot of the trivia and stuff that we do in town. We're just going to kind of off the cuff maybe mention them here and there, but we don't have room. We don't want to waste a lot of time talking commercial stuff with you guys. We want to get to the meat of the material, and the best way to do that is just to do it. So let's get into fucking Keanu.
That's
Yeah.
Sweet it will be.
Okay.
That's what Alex Winter said. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's get inside Keanu real quick.
Oh, we got to talk about the Keanu serial killer movie. Do you
Oh,
remember
the
that?
Watcher?
Oh,
The Watcher.
Yes.
The Keanu serial killer movie.
Yeah, so it was a serial killer movie starring Keanu, but it was like the whole soundtrack was Portishead. The fuck was that? Like, look, every song was a Portishead song.
Maybe that's
It was, like,
why
really-
he was a serial
it was
killer.
really
That's all he heard
depressing,
in his head.
Like, not energetic serial killer horror soundtrack.
It was a circa 2007 Fallout member that wrote that script, probably. It was like, I'm really into Portishead right now, and I really like Keanu
So-
Reeves from The Matrix.
Yeah,
So let's
time
make
travel.
this happen.
Yeah, time travel then? Like
Yeah,
Bruce?
yeah.
Because that movie came
Exactly.
out in like 03.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
something like
Well,
that.
yeah.
And it was terrible.
It was
Yeah.
god awful.
that was actually, I remember from an article that I read about actors that were forced into movies that they didn't want to be a part of. The Watcher was one of those for Keanu Reeves. I think it was either optioned as part of a studio agreement for multiple number of films, or he, signed a contract without really thinking about it. Something along those lines. But he did not want to do that film and had to anyway.
Does that go for Knock Knock? because I've got
Oh.
these hot women who fuck me and then, mess with me for some of the
We're going to talk
portion of
about
the
knock
movie.
knock. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. That's going to happen most definitely. But first off, I really wanted to, while we're still kind of at the beginning and not fully off the rails, talk about his personal life a little bit, because it's actually very interesting, a lot of the stuff that he's been through. One thing that I'd known for years, but only recently listened to the music, he was a bassist for a band.
Yeah.
For years.
Yep.
A band called Dogstar. And they're definitely that like 90s rock sound. Very much in there with like Seven Mary 3 kind of tone. Not quite Fuel Hemorrhage in My Hand style, but yeah, it's in that kind of like 90s kind of.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Keanu is not the singer in that band. He just plays that sweet, sweet electric bass. But
He's not in it anymore because that band doesn't exist.
he was the 90s version of Jared Leto in 30 Seconds to Mars.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Nobody wants to be the Jared Leto version of anything.
Of anything.
No.
Anything.
I don't know. It's probably the bassist of 30 Seconds to Mars. I probably wouldn't go with Jared Leto because he
Who,
wasn't in the forefront.
Incidentally, is also
got them to
Keanu
sell
Reeves.
records.
So that's weird how that works.
Didn't know that, did
By
you?
the way, you didn't know something about Keanu is the bassist for every band.
Is he really?
Wow.
For
Yes.
every band that's existed.
Even,
Yes.
he jumped on Foo Fighters too.
He's one of those guys, they just always has to work.
So Geddy Lee.
Yeah.
Like he just,
So he's gonna front Motorhead now.
Yes, he's going to front.
Oh,
no, too far.
You just hurt
Yeah.
a lot of people.
No, he's not. He's
He's
not
gonna
going
join
to.
Metallica. It's gonna be crazy.
It's still probably better than. Keanu is not going to be Lemmy's person in Motorhead, but he will be playing Lemmy in the Motorhead biopic.
There you go.
All it takes is a fat suit and a giant wart put on his face.
Cocoa Puffs.
He's good to go. But no, yeah. So he's been a musician. Also, I don't know if a lot of you guys know this. He has his own motorcycle company.
Yep. Arch.
Arch.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the story behind that, I think, is that he went to this guy to get a custom motorcycle built, and the guy did such a good job. He's like, "Cool, want to start a company?" The guy went, "Yeah," and then they did. And super exciting story.
dude's like, wait, you can fund it. Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, let's do.
I want to front this.
It's like, wow, are you serious?
They make super sleek, like high-end $70,000 motorcycles.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, they look badass as shit, but they look like they cost $70,000. Like they're, ugh.
Oh, so the thing that none of us in this room will ever be able
No,
to buy,
no.
nor touch, nor probably look at in person.
No.
You can't afford it.
Yeah.
you got to give him respect for we shit on his acting, but he diversifies. Like he knows that he can't rely on that face for but so long, and he makes sure that he's set the fuck up. You got to give him respect
Oh,
for that.
fair enough.
Smart.
Well, it's that, and I think he got a good business prowess of where he wanted to be at a certain age because he grew up poor. He grew up very poor, so he knew that what to do with his money to ensure that his future would be sealed. He'd be fine regardless of what happened with his acting career.
Well, before we get into like the actual movie side of things too, the growing up poor thing I think has a lot to do with how he is outside of the movies. That he's a very humble person that doesn't really show up a lot in the headlines aside from like, we saw Keanu at an airport. Being at an airport, like that's like the worst that you're gonna get with him.
Or that recently he stole a photog's camera, ran with it.
Actually, not true.
What?
I looked into that. That was actually scenes from a super low budget movie that he was part of that no one saw, where he stole a camera and then filmed around New York all day with it. Was the whole plot line. So they stole
damn it.
scenes from that, and via the internet where everybody makes up shit. That's
Yeah.
actually
No.
All right, I'm done.
the reason people believed it was because that's super a Keanu thing to do.
Right.
Just be like, no, fuck it, I don't care.
I do like the recent, and I'm sure you guys have seen the shots of him shooting 3-gun competitions.
Yes.
Yes.
Doing that and getting ready for John Wick. And from what I understand, it's like he did that for to get ready for the role, but has liked it so much that he's continued to do it. He still is continuing to shoot in these competitions and continues to be like a
beast.
Yeah, absolutely amazing at it. Yeah.
He did the same thing after The Matrix with martial arts.
Yes.
He is highly trained in several things like Aikido. He loved it so much that's why if you look at some of his other roles after The Matrix, a lot of them were action oriented.
Yeah. Well, he did the only movie that he's directed is I believe it's called the Man from Tai Chi or the
Yes.
yeah
Master of Tai Chi or something like that.
yeah,
or-
it's
yeah.
something to that
Man
effect.
of
Man of Tai Chi, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
Yes, and he did that right before he did 47 Ronin.
Oh.
Yes.
And
Oh.
for better or worse, he really kind of bought into the whole kung fu, thing there for a while. So
Well, his abilities with a gun and martial arts is further proof that Mugatu's idea in Zoolander wasn't that far-fetched to get actors or models to be trained assassins, because I mean, he might not be John Wick level in life, but he's not too far away. I mean, he's pretty goddamn close.
I wouldn't fuck with him if I had a gun and try to shoot him. If he had one in his hand, I'm probably going to die.
Again, what is happening in your life that you're going to get in a fight with Keanu Reeves?
With the gun.
Like just period. Like,
To be honest with you, that's probably an awesome day as long as I don't die.
Yeah, he's gonna roll up the piano and like break out some gun carta, and it's just gonna happen one day in his life.
I step up when he's training for John Wick 3, and I just walk on, and then he's just like, pop, pop, pop.
In all fairness, you don't want to get in any fight with Keanu. If he's trained in all these, he would fuck you up without a gun.
Yeah, well, he trains I mean, that's what he does. When he's not working, that's what he's doing. He's training on something.
that's why he
He's
just
always
looks like
highly
he
toned.
did when he was 20, except with a beard now.
No
like that's
shit.
pretty much he looks exactly
does.
the.
That's
fucking
why he
same.
could do Bill and Ted 3, and it would be believable. The other guy in the other,
Oh yeah, he looks rough.
he's looking rough as fuck.
He looks
yeah,
rough.
yeah, Alex doesn't look like he could pull off the same age as Keanu.
Well, that's why the script is going a weird angle where it's just like that Ted is finally on the wagon and he needs his buddy Bill to kind of help him through the hard few months of like getting recovered. And it's like this really heartfelt like brother comedy type of thing where they're just like they go out to a cabin for like a month to like and talk about their life and what they've done and their time travel.
No.
And yeah, and then
And
their time travel.
Hey, remember when we did that?
And it would be Ted going after Bill because Bill's been kidnapped.
Yeah.
Bill's been kidnapped, so he's got to go after him. That way you don't have him in the movie that much, and it's just all Keanu.
So it's basically just Taken, but with Bill and Ted.
Exactly. Bill and Ted.
Wait.
I have a unique set of skills.
Yeah.
That's John Wick.
I don't understand.
It's John Wick 4. That's the fourth one.
Oh my God! Can we do a Bill and Ted John Wick mashup movie?
I
'Cause,
love
Oh my God.
It'd be like. By the way, this is spoilers for Split. Has everyone here seen it? Yeah. Okay.
No, but
Yeah,
Well,
I don't care.
No,
A
I don't
lot of
care.
people know at this point that it ends up kind of tying in with Unbreakable. So this would be like John Wick 4 would be the weird tie-in between John Wick and Bill and Ted.
That Ted actually went on to become John
Yes.
Wick.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I love it. I think that's
I,
great.
I think that would be fantastic.
No time travel in there? It's all possible.
yeah, that would be pretty
Like
fucking sweet.
the size erection I would walk into the theater with would be incredible.
Because instead of digging out the case and everything, he pulls up the old the
guitar.
no, it's not the guitar. It's the not
the-
TARDIS.
the not TARDIS. The telephone booth with the coat hanger
Yeah,
on the top.
the gum's still there. The gum is still there.
No,
He
it's
pulls
like-
the whole damn thing up.
It's a crack house version of a TARDIS.
It is. It is. It's,
And he's contractually obligated to say whoa every 10 minutes, if not less.
and air guitar.
And air guitar.
John Wick and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I need to see that. And that is the name of the episode.
Bill and John Wick's Excellent Adventure.
Yes. Another thing I wanted to touch on real quick also is that Keanu's gone through a lot of personal tragedy that for some reason, because of his character, has able to trudge through and actually deal with. He was either engaged to or married to a woman that was, pregnant with their child. And they lost the child, and dealing with that kind of tragedy ended up being part of the reason why they broke up. And then maybe a year or two after that, she ended up dying in a car wreck.
Oh, fucking A.
And then a year or two after that, his sister got leukemia.
That's right. And then
And
that following year passed away.
yeah, I think it was one of the Matrix movies. They actually took a break from filming so that he could spend time with his sister and help her with recovery. Luckily, apparently, she did recover, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
But imagine, you lost a kid, and then the what would have been the mother of your child died a year or two later, and then your sister gets leukemia, while you're becoming one of the biggest action stars of all time, and dealing with all the publicity of that. Fuck.
Well, he
Whoa.
disappeared for a
Oh,
long
God damn it.
He disappeared for a long time because of that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was still around here and there, but he stayed out of the spotlight. He didn't care about high-profile jobs. That's understandable.
Yeah.
He donates a lot still to this day, from what I understand. He still donates a lot of money to leukemia charities and things like that. That's very cool. From everything that I've heard, it's not like we were talking before we started this about like, hey, you remember that actor? I hear he's an asshole to work with, and no one wants to be. Everything that I've heard, Keanu is like a really decent dude that is enjoyable to be around and is a decent guy to work with.
And that might actually be tying into what we were going to talk about, unforgettable film roles that he's been in and how the fuck he gets them. That might be part of it, is that he might just be a delight to work with. So even if he's maybe not the right choice, they're like, fuck it, I want to work with this dude.
That's how I got here tonight, right?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the crew that he works with, he's given money. He gives part of his salary to the crew members. He's given motorcycles, like $10 million and stuff to just divvy up among the crew members. He is a great person to work with and for.
Yeah.
He also has that weird thing on screen is, he's you're like, oh, you got to be dumb. You got to be dumb as fucking bricks. But, if you look at his life outside of that, he's actually very intelligent and well thought, well spoken. And it's amazing that he can still go on screen and do that. But that's part of his appeal, is that he's probably an intelligent guy. But when he plays his character, you're going, how the hell did you get these roles? That's why. Yeah.
Well, you have to be that intelligent to play that stupid.
Because
you really do. I mean, Christina Applegate, same way. She
Yeah.
played Kelly Bundy.
True.
Stupid character, intelligent woman.
I want to say it was maybe one of the Matrix sequels where he ended up donating some of his salary to all of like the stunt guys and special effects guys.
Was it the white dreadlock guys one or the Zatoichi one?
White dreadlocks.
I don't remember.
I think it's white dreadlocks
Okay.
guys one.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Matrix, the second Matrix.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
I don't remember which one it
Reloaded.
was, but like he donated just a bunch of money.
The Hangover 2 of sci-fi films? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Actually, I think I enjoyed The Hangover 2 more.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
I think I did.
Was it the chimp playing with the Asian penis? Was that what really?
No, it was like the Bangkok thing, and he's like, what? Yeah, that was pretty
I
funny.
think the Matrix version of the chimp playing with the Asian penis was just poorly done. I think it was just kind of slapped together. Didn't have the same kind of
I
like.
mean the fight scene on the stairs?
Yeah.
Which is basically
Yeah,
that.
basically that. Oh.
Oh, Keanu, no.
But we talked about Matrix and with him with donating motorcycles and everything. But Matrix is really what turned him into Keanu Reeves. He'd been in movies before and was a
What?
known person, but
Action movies.
I would
before.
say
He was
quite
he
brave.
was a
No.
known person. Yeah,
no,
he
I
was-
would say his big break was actually Speed.
Speed,
It
yeah.
really was. That
Okay,
was the
I'll
big
give
one.
to
It
you.
was a phenomenon. It's a blockbuster. It's not
Yeah.
the best of his movies by any means, but like it was, when you really look at it, even though it has Sandra Bullock.
Pop quiz hot shot.
Yeah. It's actually like a decently paced movie. Like it, from start to finish, it runs pretty well.
And you got Dennis hoppering the fuck out of that
hell yeah.
entire
Oh, hell
movie.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a good flick. It's not a great flick. It's a good flick.
It came along at a time when those sorts of movies were really hitting well. Where that cop buddy movie, the Lethal Weapon style films,
Bad Boys was not long after that.
They were really hitting hard, and it filled the genre out very well. And I think that that came after Point Break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you knew that he had the chops to do that sort of thing from Point Break, which I think is a far superior movie.
Sure.
Well, I'm sure we'll get into in a minute.
Yeah.
But, from that, he was able to take the Point Break was pretty, it was well received, but it wasn't a blockbuster. It wasn't a huge movie, at the
It was
time.
a cult classic.
Yeah.
It became cult status.
Right.
Well, that's become harder and harder in recent years to get that kind of cult classic status because of the internet and everything. It either does really well because the word of mouth gets around really quick, or it just bombs. Like the cult classic, maybe it has more longevity than other movies, but it's not this hidden gem that you find a year or two later because a buddy of yours told you that in the old movie section it's there or anything.
No, I think nowadays people make movies to be cult classics. That's more the
Yeah,
direction.
I would agree.
You got people making like cool ass flicks like Turbo Kid and Wolf Cop and stuff like that, which are fun, but they're great flicks, but they're designed from the ground up to be cult movies. Cult movies, and so.
Well, when it's done and it's not on purpose, that's when it's
That's when it's
usually the
gold.
best.
Right. Yes,
you know,
exactly.
that's when it's really, Evil Dead. The first one is a perfect example of that. It had no idea. It thought it was being one thing, and to the entire audience who watched it, it was not what it thought it was.
Yeah.
And that's what made it great. And then they were like, well, if that's the case, we're going to fucking make one on purpose to be a comedy. And it was just as great.
Yeah.
If not better.
That's because Sam Raimi is a genius.
Yes.
That's why I think Keanu needs to now revisit Little Buddha and just do it as a comedy.
No.
I almost spit beer out.
No, is it a comedy or a rom-com?
No, this is a straight up him trying to be like Eastern philosophy, like Buddhist
Like 7
monk
years
guy.
in Tibet,
yeah.
like Brad Pitt?
7 years in Keanu, yeah.
I will only watch that if it becomes a buddy movie with him and Jackie Chan. Then I'm totally in.
No, he's got to play it like the Love Guru.
Oh. Speaking of bombs.
Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Terrible.
Mike Myers' worst.
He's never
probably.
come back
Yeah.
from that.
Well, that's further
he
proof
didn't.
that you never get Deepak Chopra
Shrek.
in one of your movies. That's just gonna kill it.
We're just signing each other. It's like, yeah, Mike Myers, he's actually back a little bit right now. He's actually the host of the Gong Show.
Yeah, and I've heard that's phenomenal too.
Yeah.
I would watch that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he's not playing Mike Myers. He's playing another British character, like the old British character guy, as the host.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, like
I would watch
Total
that.
70s
full
game
makeup.
show
Oh,
host.
God,
Yeah.
it's
Is
hilarious.
it like that Jiminy Glick, whatever, with...
Yeah,
Don't,
kind of.
don't compare anything to that, please.
Kind of, where he's playing
It's
that
like Rip
character.
Torn, but,
Martin Short at this point in his career, and I know we're digressing, but he's so bad that I feel like I want him to be funny. Like I feel really bad for him, and I want, I like him, and I want him to be funny. And I've watched things that he's done and been like, oh, you're not.
You're so cute. Nice try.
Yeah, then you just watch Master of Disguise, and all those feelings go away.
What they need to do is make a Four Amigos movie with an old Eddie Murphy who's washed out too as the fourth. That would be the best.
that's actually perfect. I'm sorry.
Well, who are the? It was
Chevy Chase, Steve Martin,
and
Martin Short.
Steve Martin's not signing up for that fucking tire fire.
No, he's playing bluegrass, man. He don't give a fuck.
That one, I think Steve Martin's role in that movie would be perfect for Keanu to step into if they were to redo it.
as Steve Martin's
Dusty.
son.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh.
You got to do the. That was my pelvis thrusting up in the air.
Oh, and it would be called Three Amigos.
My little buttercup has the sweetest sound. Sweet little buttercup.
Holy shit.
That sounds like a goddamn moneymaker to me. Holy shit.
That's a ringtone.
You could have Lawrence Fishburne doing the voice of the bush.
No, you have him as the leader of the Mexican gang.
Guapo? You did have Guapo.
yeah.
He's like, plethora? What's his plethora?
God damn, I want to see this movie so bad now. See, Keanu needs to listen because we're big
Comedy gold.
Gold.
Right.
Gold.
Between Bill and John Wick and the Four Amigos, he's got his dance card full for the next few years.
You can have these. These are free. These are free ideas
No,
for
seriously,
you.
we got to get that recording of Eddie singing.
Yeah, no, we can do that.
Fucking brilliant. I'm sorry. That's all I can think about. This is hilarious.
Let's get into a movie that was unfortunately remade. What was it, last year or the year before? That was shit awful.
Oh,
that
god awful. It didn't
What?
happen.
Yeah.
Point Break.
Point
Yeah.
Break.
Oh yeah,
Wait, that was
no.
point. That was a remake. I just
No,
thought that it
remade
was
it recently.
highlights from a extreme video.
That was a Christmas Day release. They thought it was good enough to release on Christmas. That's usually reserved for like the money makers, right? They released that on Christmas.
American Werewolf in Paris did that, and they fucking died.
Oh,
No, they go for Oscar bait movies on Christmas Day. They're trying to get out and people to go see those movies right before the Academy has to see
Point
it.
Break though? Fucking Point Break?
No.
Yeah,
the fuck
yeah,
no.
you
It's
know,
like,
a Point Break remake.
this is
total
counter-
Oscar bait.
Yeah, right? No shit.
that's counter programming for all the women who's going to go see this. Dudes, go see this.
But they did Point Break because they had a bunch of guys that were set up to do a movie with like what's his name, Triple X guy.
Vin Diesel?
Vin Diesel.
No,
and
Ice
then
Cube?
he just bailed out on him, so they had to do something. That's all that movie was. It's just horrid. It's god awful.
You got to think though that I believe that came out the same year as Force Awakens came out.
No. It was
Or
earlier
then
than that.
Rogue.
I think it was the year before that.
Earlier than that.
I don't think it was.
It was 2015.
Was it 2015?
That's when Force Awakens came out.
Then let's check on when Point Break came out. I'm pretty sure it came out the same year as Force Awakens.
Force Awakens
Bruce
released
is
2
on
weeks
it.
before.
Bruce is on it.
Doing it. Hang on.
Yeah, but 2 weeks
Ask
before.
the
But it's
Magic Box.
fucking Star Wars.
Google it,
Yeah.
bitch.
So
And they-
nobody is putting out a movie they expect anyone to see 2 weeks after a Star Wars movie comes
Point
out.
Break 2015.
2015,
Oh, there you
same
go.
year as Force Awakens. So they just went, well, here's a fucking shiny turd. There you go.
You almost look like you should
Throw that
throwing
under
a mic down.
So-
They
right
threw
now.
that under the fucking tires
get-
of Star Wars. That's what they did.
To get back though, I mean, that's kind of the point. That second Point Break missed it so hard because they made it all about the action and the adventure and the whatever. And the original Point Break really was a very heartfelt, like it was an action movie, kind of. It was a Roadhouse. I get that, but I really I liked the characters. I liked the story. I liked all of that, and I at the time really thought Lori Petty was fucking hot.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
It was
Yeah.
also a love letter to
To my-
surfing and to
My
the ocean
teenage
and
love
freedom.
of Lori Petty. Yes, no, it was.
It was
that
a-
was
yeah.
before the
It was a
missile
bromance movie, man.
It's a
Come on,
was-
let's
it
call it
was.
what it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
They even
was.
talk about it in Hot Fuzz, where it's like he loved him too much to shoot him, so he pointed his gun in the sky and started firing.
Have you ever pointed your gun in the sky and yelled "Ah"?
But a lot of those action tropes that are covered in Hot Fuzz, Keanu's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in his movies.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised to not see him in one of their movies. I think that would be an awesome
Edgar Wright?
collaboration.
Awesome.
I mean,
Oh,
he
God,
doesn't
yeah.
do a lot of cameos. He had a weird one recently
With
with Keanu.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Well, no, he did a bit part in Neon Demon.
Yeah, I
really?
heard,
And that was
yeah.
like unexpected. I was like,
It's on like
really? All right.
Amazon, isn't it? Is it Amazon movie? That was Amazon release.
It
movie,
was
wasn't
Nicholas.
What's on Amazon?
Windig Refn, whatever his name is, who did Drive and everything.
Yeah.
It's a good flick. It's solid. It's disturbing. It's kind of but he had a small part in it. Same with Christina Hendricks, who has the best boobs in the business.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
Yes.
Oh,
That's my future ex-wife.
So
right there.
big.
I don't know. What about the
So big.
what about the chick from True Detective and those Percy Jackson movies?
I don't know.
No.
No,
There's
Christina
nothing.
Hendricks.
I got nothing.
Those
Christina
things are
Hendricks.
fucking huge, man.
Gorgeous.
Just
I'll
because
get the
she's
name
Captain
later,
Mal's
and you're going to be
wife.
like, actually, yeah. Those
But
are
no,
pretty
like
big
Mad
too.
Men, the entire time with Mad Men, I'm just staring at her boobs.
She is the reason to watch all of Mad Men.
Well, also, yeah, I didn't realize until
No, John
Mad-
Hamm's a sexy fucker. So
Yeah.
just saying.
I didn't
Well,
realize until Mad Men. Like I knew her from Firefly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They did not show off her body nearly well enough in Firefly. Like
No.
she was very.
She put on a little bit of weight before she hit Mad Men.
Yeah.
In all of the right places.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
how do you gain weight in just your tits and your ass? I mean, and you do that
called
through plastic
surgery.
surgery. But I'm just telling you,
No.
like, bow.
No, she was Mad Velup in
She
Firefly.
was, but
was.
I'm
Not-
telling you,
not-
she's even more so.
We're not going to pass by the fact that Grutz just said "mad Velup."
He
you
totally
for stopping there.
hipstered the word velup.
he pulled out his Gen X card and put in a millennial card.
He said, I just got it in the mail.
I learned it from my wife.
Watching you, Mom.
Now you're blaming Jody
Yeah,
on the air.
From now on, you'll be known as Totes McGrutz.
I want a T-shirt made really bad.
No, but Point Break, aside from Lori Petty being part of it, and Swayze was so manic in that movie. That was part of the reason for it. And also, as bad as Keanu's acting was, that was really, I think, the start of me understanding that there were certain roles that had actually worked. Like his shitty acting in that movie. I'm an FBI agent. Oh wait, I got it. Actually, I got it. Hold on. Let me.
Oh. There you go. Can't have you walking through those doors with your dick in your hand, right?
I can't do this.
Sure you can. Who knows? You might like it. It's a killer rush.
Buddy, this is your fucking wake-up call, man. I am an FBI agent.
I know, man. Isn't it wild?
You can even hear the acting and the voices. Swayze's just like, yeah, man, it's cool. And he's just like, I am an FBI agent. But so good.
There's no part of him that's taking those roles lightly.
No.
That's the thing about it that kills me, is it's not like he's not doing well because he's not trying. He is 110% into that role and is just, gosh darn it, he's doing his best through this. And it's just, wow, it didn't work.
He doesn't get he doesn't get the Oscar. He gets a participation trophy.
Yeah, because he really tried.
But that's what makes Bill and Ted so great. Because he acts, I mean, it's so fucking natural for him. Because he was like, I don't even have to try. Whoa.
Yeah. Well,
what's up?
And he plays basically the same character in Parenthood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that role.
Oh,
He's the drag racer.
Yeah.
And I have an admission to make. I had to admit it to Miss Katie Turbo earlier this week that I had never seen Parenthood.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, it was one of those. I actually confused it with Father of the Bride.
No.
What?
Well, Steve Martin. Steve Martin's in both. So
but Stellar Cat,
well, yeah, I understand now, but I honestly thought I had seen it already, so I never bothered to reapproach it.
Ron Howard movie.
Yeah, Father of the Bride's an okay movie. It's decent, but it's not something that I would necessarily go back and revisit.
Until Father of the Bride 2.
Oh, I mean, Electric Boogaloo. That was a hell of
a better film,
Yeah.
sir. A better film.
Sorry.
Love it when Steve Martin goes up to Keanu Reeves and is like, "I am your father," and he's like, "No." Yeah.
Dude, seriously?
Dude. He went, "Wow."
I'm totes taken back right
Excellent.
Yeah, right.
Excellent.
And then he just shoots him in the fucking head.
Yeah.
One of the best movies, and I know we're not at John Wick yet, but to tie it back to the Point Break, I was watching John Wick 2 with my roommate the other day, and he gets shot at one point. Spoilers. There's guns. People get
John
shot.
Wick gets shot.
And he gets hit in the knee, and she goes, "Oh no, that's the knee he hurt playing football at what is he?
The Replacements?
No, when the knee that he hurt
In Point Break.
Yeah.
Point Break,
She's like,
yeah.
"Oh no, that's the knee that he hurt," and I was like, turned and looked at her. She's like, "Well, it could still hurt." I was like,
Did you ever see The
but
Replacements?
she was 100% serious about it too. Like she was honestly concerned.
So in her mind, every role he's played is the same character.
Which is, I think, is true. Actually,
No, what it is these are the things that happen in the Matrix when he's plugged into it. Is that he just
I
plays
like
the
it.
different.
Yeah.
That's why he did The Replacements, because he was Johnny Utah in that movie. He was just older. His career had passed. I'm telling you, it's a fucking sequel.
We're gonna create there's gonna be a listener that puts together some weird Keanu like Pixar story connection.
That'd be
theory,
great. Conspiracy theories are
It'd be
flowing.
like Charlie Day and It's Always Sunny with the board with all the little yarn pieces going to the different things. And that's what and it was after this movie that he went into the Matrix. That was right Johnny Mnemonic. That's the prequel.
There you go.
Johnny Phenomena was the prequel to the Matrix, and then they get jacked into the Matrix with
There you go.
that technology.
I didn't like that movie, though.
And that explains the
fuck
time travel
off.
movie.
Johnny Mnemonic.
You've got Henry Rollins playing a fucking antisocial doctor.
Dude, you got
Crazy.
Takashi Kitano beat Takashi as the fucking like Yakuza villain.
And you've got Dolph fucking Lundgren as a religious assassin. I mean,
Name Jesus.
name Jesus.
That movie is amazing.
You've
You're
got,
wrong,
what is
sir.
it, Ice-T playing like the leader of the
I
rebellious
know.
faction with like fucking dreadlocks and goggles.
That is the
Like-
most 90s awesome
like
punk
he's-
rock movie of all time.
And
where
Ice-T
you-
looks like he's dancing to Wumpscut at Fallout. Like that's
Yes.
in that movie.
That's a cult classic. You know, that's something that did not do well in the theaters. That's why they didn't make a sequel. Or if they did, I didn't hear
No, they
about
didn't.
it.
No, it didn't do well in theaters
But
at
it
all.
did do well in theaters.
It was
and
the
then,
sequel was called Johnny Not So Monic.
which makes me question when he got the role or the offer from the Matrix. You got to be thinking like, well, it didn't work with Johnny Mnemonic, so.
But I can learn kung fu.
But half of these I get to say, whoa,
Okay,
I'm in.
I've actually got to play a little thing, a very short thing from Johnny Mnemonic because this is one of my favorite like monologues from Keanu Reeves. So
I want room service! I want the club sandwich. I want the cold Mexican beer. I want a $10,000 a night hooker! I want my shirts laundered. Like they do at the Imperial Hotel in Tokyo.
in Tokyo.
Tokyo.
I like that he's like screaming about it, but then when he starts talking about his laundered shirts, he gets like really insightful. Like he's like really feeling emotional about it now. It's like, no, but my shirts, man.
He got
You don't
verklempt.
understand.
In Tokyo.
In
Maybe I need to rewatch that movie. I think I saw it when it came out
probably need
on
to go back
VHS
and-
release.
it's
No,
so
seriously,
Not
like
good.
when it came
really
out on
bad.
VHS release, I think we rented it, and that's the only time I ever watched that movie.
It's a cheesy flick, but it's like a straight up live action anime. It's so fucking fun.
You need to watch that and Free Jack as a double feature.
Yes.
Oh God!
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Then throw in a little virtuosity just for good measure.
Oh, what was
Yes.
that? Denzel and
Triple
Russell
feature.
Crowe.
Russell Crowe.
Crowe.
Yes,
Yeah.
virtuosity. Oh
That,
my
those
God.
that's a great '90s action triple feature.
Oh, man.
Sci-fi.
It's like we could do so much with special effects. It's like, God damn it.
If you want to force spot it, Jacob's Ladder.
oh, that's
No,
Or
no.
not Jacob's Ladder,
I was gonna say, that's
Lawnmower
90s.
Man.
Lawnmower Man.
Yeah.
Hey.
that was
Man,
80s.
yes.
That was 80s. That wasn't 90s.
No, I think that was
No,
90s.
No, it was 80s.
It was 80s.
The
Was that
first
80s?
one, the
Yeah.
second
Late.
one was 91.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
91.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 80s. So.
Was it
Late
80s?
80s.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
Shitty.
I
terrible.
remember being blown away by Lawnmower Man, though. Like watching it when it first came
Oh,
out and being
no.
like, wow,
Whoop,
these graphics are amazing.
92.
Boom.
What?
Yet again. I pulled it out.
92.
Yeah.
For the first one?
Yes.
Ugh.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
Lawnmower
like
Man.
behind
92.
the time then.
That was
92.
that.
Lawnmower 2.
Around the time they're like, we've got this thing called computer graphics.
animation.
Yeah.
And they were so stoked
Virtual
about
reality.
it. And it so doesn't hold up.
And
Like,
they completely bastardized the Stephen King short story. Yeah, that movie.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that other movie where they had a bunch of computer
Wow, I didn't know
graphics
that.
that just don't hold? The
Tron.
prequels. Yes,
The
that's
prequels.
what it was.
Yeah.
They don't hold up.
Prequels, yes.
They don't hold up. Misa don't like it.
All
know,
those,
that-
all those vistas look like pictures you would see in a dentist's office.
That's around the same time that made that movie with who's the kid from Terminator 2? What's his
Edward Furlong.
Edward Furlong. Where he was playing a video game and the main villain was called
Brain
the
Scan?
Jokester. Brain Scan.
Yes.
That was around the same time.
Yeah.
God damn that movie.
I love that I don't care what anybody says. I love that fucking
He
movie.
might have actually acted better in Brain Scan than he did in T2.
Oh, he totally did. He was even
But see, here's the thing where I talked about Point Break, but like really with like Johnny Mnemonic and that style of like really shitty like 90s sci-fi, that was Keanu's wheelhouse. I mean, like that bad acting was so perfect for those. Like, I mean, if he was in Barbed Wire, he would have done a great job. Like, it would have been
God.
fantastic. if he was in Judge Dredd alongside
first one.
So
the
instead
first
of,
one.
instead of Schneider, you get
Got Keanu Reeves as Rob. Keanu Reeves is.
I'm just a hacker.
You've been like, whoa, don't take off your helmet, man. That's wrong.
Yeah, right.
I am the law.
Who are you to judge people, man?
I am the law.
No, it's,
Yeah.
I am
the law.
I am the whoa.
I'm the fucking law. Whoa.
Yeah, that's really. He missed the boat a little bit. As much as I love like John Wick and some of this more recent stuff he's done, if he just went that he went the route that Kevin Smith did with his directing and just went full schlock and just dove headfirst into that, it would have been amazing.
I think that he started doing that action roles in the early 90s and the late 80s when you see like the Johnny Mnemonics and the Point Breaks and those kinds of things. And because it didn't take off for him, because he didn't hit the big time money with it, that's why we saw him roll into the more serious,
Like
the serious that effort at the real serious roles,
like
and the,
Sweet November.
well, and like Devil's Advocate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the what was the one at the lake house thing,
Yeah.
the rom-coms, and even trying to do Shakespeare. I mean, we were talking earlier how he did Hamlet. He was in Much Ado About Nothing, which was one of the funniest things I've ever seen, was to see that man do Shakespeare.
Any
He was
listeners,
trying too hard.
The Kenneth Branagh directed Much Ado About Nothing.
It's a great movie.
Him acting against Denzel Washington is like the best thing ever. It's unbelievable.
So 2 things. One, we're talking about Shakespeare. There's a really great movie called Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead.
Yep.
Yes.
So if anybody out there hasn't seen it, fucking do yourself a favor. All right, go ahead. I had 2, but I'll go later.
No, go ahead. I got an adjacent point.
Well, I was just gonna piggyback basically on what he was saying. So that's all. Really nothing that fascinating.
Okay.
Move on.
So like most of the things you say.
Oh, fuck yourself.
Oh shit.
I love you, Smash.
I want to say like when we're talking about like the breadth of his 80s 90s career, where he had some action gems definitely, and he had some success with those, but he went into other genres here and there. I think he was largely miscast, and he could very well have been like the 90s 2000s like sort of version of like a Chuck Bronson, in the sense that he wasn't a great actor, but he could have found his like field, and he's graduated now that he's in his like he's in his 50s now.
He's 52.
He's 52, but like he met with like the John Wick thing, and that brings it back to like fucking like Death Wish basically, like level. It's awesome, but like I think he's finally found his fucking place.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna go with that. Like, dude, him and like Death Wish would be awesome.
Yeah.
But,
Let's redo that. I mean,
Yeah.
the first Death
they're
Wish
talking
was,
about a remake.
First Death Wish was
Bruce
a different
Willis.
studio, but I think 2 and on was Canon Films,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Yeah. So
no, the remakes
all
didn't have Bruce
canon
Willis.
afterwards,
That's
yeah.
right.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it's
right.
gonna suck. Never
Let's
mind.
put the Keanu in there instead.
Yeah.
But at this point, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk very briefly about our sponsors and then get into making a drunken scene, which will be absolutely fantastic. So
And talk about what we're drinking.
and what we're drinking as well. So stick around. We'll be right back. This is Mike the Hobbit, direct from Fallout on a trivia night, telling you to come here every first and third Monday for trivia between 8 and 10, 25-cent wings, drink specials, prizes, and tons of really inappropriate trivia. It's a lot of fun. Do you guys agree? Definitely come out and enjoy trivia every first and third Monday at Fallout. In addition to Fallout, Geeks Under the Influence takes over Wonderland on the corner of 18th and Main Street for Geeks Under the Influence trivia, ridiculous trivia, goofy music, great food, cheap drinks. 1727 East Main. Come and check us out 8 to 10 every second and fourth Tuesday. Hi, guys. Hi. We're back for the second half of Geeks Under the Influence, episode 112, our Keanu Reeves episode. All things Keanu Reeves, his life behind the movies, and also all of the ridiculous shit that he's done in his life. Like every second half, we're going to talk about what we're drinking, but really quick, before we get into that, let's talk about our sponsors very briefly. First up is amzn.to. Amazon's been one of our oldest sponsors, and if you go through the link at the top right corner of our homepage at guipodcast.com, also under the links at guipodcast.com, Go through that link, bookmark it. Anything that you purchase through that link, we get credit for. So it's a way for us to earn money through Amazon without you spending any additional money to support this podcast. So everybody wins. And let's face it, you're all using Amazon anyway, so you might as well use it and help out this podcast at the same time. Next up, of course, is Loot Crate. Loot Crate, I just got a notification that my Loot Crate is in the mail and will hopefully be showing up any day now for animation, which is Rick and Morty, Futurama, Ninja Turtles, and Bob's Burgers is the 4. I don't know what's going on for August just yet, but every single month has been at least a few things in that box that makes it well worth it. Usually about $20 a box, but you can save $3 by when checking out using Save 3 on checkout. Just make sure you go through the links page at GUIpodcast.com. That way we get credit for you signing up for a crate through Loot Crate, monthly subscription crate. Well worth it. Check it out. A lot of the stuff on the shelves behind me are filled with stuff that I got through Loot Crate, and it's, well, at least $40, if not more, worth of stuff that you get every month for less than $20. So definitely worth it. What is this month? The August crate is Kingdom. Oh, Lord of the Rings, Adventure Time, and Legend of Zelda is coming this
Just
month.
3? They usually have 4.
That's all that's been announced yet. Sometimes there's a straggler depending on their gear. But now on to the rest of Geeks Under the Influence. Like every second half, we start off with what we are drinking, and much to the joy of our panelists, there is a new mix of the what we're drinking theme that will be played right now.
A new mix?
A new mix.
Hey, we're fucking drinking. We're getting drunk. You want to know? Well, here you go. Hey.
I gotta say, I like the original one better.
No, I like the original better, but that's
Hey. That's if you want to feel extra heavy that day.
Yeah.
which I think is appropriate for a Keanu Reeves episode with something a little more drive to it, you know?
What up? Thank you.
I actually love that.
Whoa. Yeah. So, first thing up is what we are drinking. First thing to go
Give it to Eddie.
is
The skinny guy.
sharing with you guys. Fortunately for me, I made it, strangely, a year dating Miss Katie Turbo, one of our regular panelists, and one of our panelists that's actually moving into the GUI studio as we speak, moving her stuff in.
Yeah, she's gonna sleep on the table.
She's going to sleep on the table.
Cool.
No, my house
She
is
drinks
attached
a lot, you know.
to the GUI studio, so she's moving in. We've made it a year, and for part of our anniversary, we went and hit up a couple breweries, one of which is Midnight Brewing out on the western outskirts of Richmond, and I was blown away by this brewery. We did 2 flights, 4 different beers apiece, so eight beers total, and not a single one disappointed us. There was also, we mixed, which is what I'm sharing here, is Not My Job, which is their brown. It's a English style brown smash. It's very similar to Newcastle, although it doesn't taste quite the same. It's not like a clone, but
It's a little thicker.
it's
More flavor.
that's what
more
she said.
flavor, definitely.
Yeah, a little thicker, more flavor.
Yeah.
This is fantastic on its own. Mix that with the oatmeal. I forget what they call it. They named it after the route that the brewery's off of, but it's a little like half and half they do, and it's phenomenal. But you can only really get that through the brewery. They tried to make a keg of it mixed together, and it just didn't translate. It was close, but it wasn't quite right. So I would definitely suggest going and checking out Midnight Brewery, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to the owner or one of the brewers here in the near future on Geeks Under the Influence. But for now, we're talking about Not My Job, which is their brown. I don't have the ABV on it, but I think it's only around like 5.5 or 6.
I feel like it's 6.
Yeah, it's not a super high ABV. And almost a non-existent IBU. There's almost no hops to this.
No tartness
Yay.
whatsoever.
You get that rich malty, a little bit of bitter, almost like a bitter chocolate kind of note to it. It's definitely on the... It's a little bit of the heavier side of brown, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily a really heavy beer. It's
No, but
more
for a
medium,
brown.
medium bodied. It's heavy for a brown.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Heavy for a brown.
But what do you guys think?
It's good.
I fucking love it.
It's delicious.
I remember the first time I brought a 6-pack over here, which was like in our first year.
Yeah.
Because the bottles, 6-packs are sold throughout Richmond, so we do get it, just not as fresh as that. And I loved it. And I remember letting everyone try it, and they liked it. So, but coming out of the tap, though, there is a difference.
Very, very big difference. The bottles are still good, but
oh yeah,
I think it's worth the trip to go out to midnight because out of the tap, it makes a very different story out of this. And also, I would definitely mix it, the oatmeal stout that they have with the brown. We tried it in the brewery, and it was fantastic. So I would thoroughly suggest that. Also, got a chance to talk to the owner for a little bit. Very sweet guy. Was more than happy to talk to us. Very approachable, and that honestly makes me even happier about a brewery if everybody that works there is very happy and excited and into the thing. So, yeah, I had an absolute blast visiting Midnight Brewery. So check them out. Try the Not My Job. Try their Rockville Red's fantastic. Their oatmeal stout, which the name I can't remember off the top of my head, but we were not disappointed by any of the beers we tried while we were there. So check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Next person to share is Mr. Grutz. You brought a little something for us, right?
I brought Blanton's, which is John Wick's choice whiskey, which is why I bought it. It's very expensive, so I bought a half bottle.
It is pricey.
It is pricey. You know, you get a fifth is about $60. So you know, I was like,
Don't love you that much.
You know,
Exactly.
shit, right? I don't blame them.
It's very tasty. It's kind of like they bill themselves as the original single barrel, but it's a damn fine whiskey, bourbon whiskey for the money.
Well, let's find out.
Yeah, let's give it a try.
Let's lift them up. Cheers.
Cheers.
Fellas, enjoy.
Salute.
I'm not doing a shot of that. I'm taking a sip. I'm going to enjoy that. It's warm. That's what I would call, with my bourbons and whiskeys and scotches and stuff, a liquid blanket.
Yeah.
Where
Exactly.
just you feel it warming as it goes down. It's oh man.
I almost like that burn because it's like it feels like it's like mouthwash, like it's killing things inside your mouth that shouldn't be there.
It's like a
It's that
hug from the
strong.
inside.
There's a reason why, obviously I didn't share any of this outside, because in 90+ degree weather, bourbon whiskey is not the best thing
No.
ever.
No.
From a bald guy, I could tell you right now, the top of my fucking head is sweating. And it's just a little pool of sweat.
Well, for anybody watching the video, if you see some extra glistening happening on our foreheads, it's pretty much because it's really hot outside. The AC's keeping up okay, but it's also 6 dudes in a room together, so that makes.
And I have a shiny head.
And yeah, I definitely have a shiny head.
I was gonna say, Grutz, that is that is distilled by Buffalo Trace, correct?
It is not, if I remember correctly.
Because that was at the Buffalo Trace table at Beer Bourbon Barbecue Festival, and it's on their list on their website.
It says it's distilled and bottled by Blanton Distilling Company.
Maybe Buffalo Trace owns them.
Yeah, I think that might be one of those.
I
yeah.
don't think it's one of the whiskeys they make.
No, yeah, I think
might just own them.
Yeah,
Maybe they were
Because these
just
guys
drinking them.
they've been making this whiskey for a long ass time.
yeah,
Kind of the same way, so
it's delicious.
they might
No,
own it.
it's a
right?
tasty beverage.
Yeah.
That was good.
But when you want to savor.
And John Wick approved. That's all
Yes,
I'm
definitely. I think that I don't think it showed up really in John Wick 1, but it was definitely very apparent on a table in John Wick 2.
saying.
Yes.
No, he was in John Wick 1.
Was
He
it in 1?
his hotel room.
Okay.
He was drinking it.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
It was definitely in 2. So apparently that's just like they added that to the character.
Which is a great scene in John Wick 2 when they sit down and talk about like bourbon, yeah, gin, right? Yeah, gin. You know,
yeah.
Great little moment
Yeah,
that they
was
had
John,
there.
Yeah, John Wick 1.
That was an
Yeah,
important moment because it showed the level of appreciation for the hotels, for the Continentals, and that you do not fuck around with that rule.
Well, you also felt like they had a past, they had a relationship together, and that they respected each other, even though their job might be to kill each other. They were still, cordial when the time was there.
Speaking
to
of,
do
it
that.
goes without saying, there's spoilers for John Wick 1 and 2 and any fucking Keanu Reeves movie.
Oh yeah, well, especially John Wick 2, because John Wick 1 was a straight up revenge film, and this film was different because he was forced back into it. But they opened up like a mythology of this whole underground that you never saw before, you didn't know. If you made a promise by putting your bloody thumbprint on a specific day. You know, all of a sudden you are sworn to uphold that until you die.
Yep.
Or until you
marker.
actually accomplish it. The marker. Thank you. The marker.
It wasn't so much that they opened it up, but they expanded on it.
Right.
Because the first movie, you got traces of it. I mean, you definitely had scenes in the Continental where it was like, what's this crazy underground where everybody's a goddamn like assassin? This is awesome. And the second movie really expanded on it and made it so fascinating.
Well,
right.
So I've heard recently that there is a movie or a TV series in the works that's going to be called The Continental.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to focus around the hotel itself and the assassins. It's not necessarily going to be about John Wick or
It shouldn't be.
Keanu Reeves or anything like that, but it is going to be called The Continental, and it is going to focus around and apparently Deadwood.
Ian McShane. I was about to ask Ian McShane.
Ian McShane is apparently going to star in the TV.
Of course he is.
Get the fuck out of here!
I'm
Oh my
very
god!
excited about
He is
that.
amazing.
Ian
That would be
McShane.
amazing.
Oh.
Yeah.
He turned a very small role in the first one into something very large.
Because that's what he fucking
That's
does.
what he- yeah.
That's what he fucking
And
does.
he did it with such fucking ease.
Actually, just saw him in I think it was a Netflix original movie starring Nick Frost of Simon Pegg, Nick Frost.
Yeah.
That whole his right
That
hand
ilk.
man, called Cuban Fury, where it's Nick Frost doing salsa.
What?
And
I'd pay good money to see that.
Ian McShane was his coach. And didn't do a lick of dancing in the entire movie. He just drank and yelled at Nick Frost, and it was amazing.
First thing I ever saw Ian McShane in was actually before I actually went back and rewatched the Deadwood was Hot Rod. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh,
in Hot
yeah,
Rod.
with
He was
his
a
dad.
stepdad.
Oh God, he was.
okay.
Yeah, who like just belittled the shit out of him the entire movie.
So Ian McShane, he had a minor role in Sexy Beast.
Yes, he did.
As like the mob boss. He was gay, but he fucking owned that shit so hard. He was still terrifying. And you're talking about him training him doing salsa. What was that fucking drumming movie that was awesome?
Drumline?
No,
Nick Cannon?
no, the one that just came out
Jinx.
recently with the rap.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Dude,
Whiplash.
Whiplash.
Thank you.
God, that was so good.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
So it's like
Great
Whiplash,
movie.
but for salsa dancing. That sounds amazing.
Not quite as serious as Whiplash.
So, like, makes
I
you
can't imagine
cringe.
Nick Frost doing salsa and it being a serious movie. I want to see that version, but that's not what it was.
J. Jonah Jameson throwing shit at his head.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. Aside from the two shares that we had tonight, we got a couple other things that we're drinking. Mine is of no consequence. Eddie, you got something that was actually thematic to this episode.
Yeah, so I love when we do a little bit of theme drinking here, and so I picked up some Kona Brewing Company's Big Wave Golden Ale, and this is an homage to Johnny Utah and the Point Break and some surfing, so it's actually a surfing beer. It's actually, this is the first time I've had it. It's actually pretty good. It's darker than I expected it to be. I expected it to be kind of a lighter,
Well, more malt.
bright beer, a
Yeah.
little maltier. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a little bit darker. It's a good ale. It's a really solid brown. It's almost a brown ale, but it's a little bit light, like a light brown ale.
I did not realize that was Pipeline. Pipeline does a beer, Kona Brewing Company does a Pipeline Porter.
Yeah.
That I'm obsessed with. I love it. It's like an espresso stout that is phenomenal as fuck. And honestly, I haven't had it in a couple years, but oh damn, that's a serious fucking like winter beverage.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Just make
so
sure
not
Sounds, yeah, that sounds delicious.
if you can find the Pipeline Porter when it's a little bit more seasonably appropriate, then I would check it out. For the summer, apparently, Big Wave. I tried a little bit, and that's a tasty beverage.
Yeah, I could drink this.
That's a tasty beverage.
It's fucking Cristal. What?
Of course,
Say big wave again, motherfucker.
Kyle Smash, let's take a pause so that our listeners can yell aloud what they think you're drinking. All right, what are you drinking tonight?
Let me see here. It's called Vienna Lager. Have you
Yeah,
ever
the
heard
Devil's
of it?
Backbone Vienna Lager. Yeah, it's almost like you drink
kinda
that
new to the scene.
every time that you're on this podcast. I mean, I love
you know
it
what?
too.
Here, look. There's enough of you aficionados over here This is what Wawa is the best thing that Wawa offers. So kiss my nuts.
You won't go anywhere besides Wawa for beer.
Yeah.
Because I don't have time.
Oh, bullshit.
Yeah, Once Upon a Vine, like a quarter of a mile from my house, is really hard to
Look,
get to before.
I'm lucky to get here before 7:30. Okay.
Lowdown.
Next week I will bring something.
You got some drinkings.
Yeah.
as well.
I actually brought 2 different beers. I had Founders Pure Raspberry Ale, which is a nice little summer treat.
A nice little tartness to it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Edweird thought it was a little too sweet.
It was a little sweet. I've had a couple of raspberries that I liked better, but it was good. It was a little sweet.
You probably would have dug the Schlafly. The Schlafly was pretty much tart on top of a white ale, so it had that. It did have like a beer,
Bite.
more of a beer flavor to it.
Yeah.
I
definitely like that.
And this, what I'm drinking now, is 3 Notched Brewing Company's Watermelon Gose, and it's like a tart Jolly Rancher. It's fucking delicious.
Yeah,
not too sour, not too stanky.
If you want something that's got a little bit of oomph to it, but you want something that's seasonably appropriate, that's definitely a choice.
Yes, 'cause, I mean,
that's
I've had
tasty
some
as shit.
Goses that are just funky, like foot funk, like nasty. I can't
That's
do
a
it.
great aftertaste.
Oh,
Yeah. See, like the other one, the aftertaste would have been feet. See? Yeah, it's gross.
So it tasted like Kindred Spirit Brewing Company smelled last Saturday.
Apparently.
I hate to call out a local brewery because you know what? Like I want to support everything local, but maybe it was just the wrong day. But it smelled like wet hay and feet in there when we went in.
And you said the beer wasn't.
No, there were a couple beers that weren't bad, but like they had a strawberry milkshake one, and I don't know if it was the heat or what, but it was just the flavor profile was very interesting, but it just wasn't right
hit.
for the day, or
Maybe they just had poor ventilation.
and also just it was a little too sports bar tone for me. So it's a personal issue with some of the things there, but they had half kegs as the urinals, which was really fucking cool, and I'm pretty sure how they make Coors Light. So that was nice.
And Keystone.
I think I've been there.
I
pure
love that
fucking truth.
even when you're not like railing about how good something is, you're so nice about how it wasn't exactly perfect. Like there's no, it wasn't great, and it wasn't this, and it was.
Oh no,
you do a very nice job of.
There will
like,
be times
you're
if
definitely
if
not
there's
ever a dick about it.
all girl reboots of
Very
shit
diplomatic.
Yes,
that is
yes.
just shoehorned in, or if it's anything Michael Bay, I will not be polite.
I'm just talking about beer.
Oh, beer.
Yeah.
Because I appreciate a person
Michael
that's going
Bay
to spend the time
Transformers
and money to
lager.
put a brewery in the
Absolutely.
Richmond area. And I want to stress
Support
that
the
it's
local.
my personal opinion and not necessarily anything to do with whether or not the brewery itself is terrible or great.
Amen.
Yeah.
There's a brewery that's going to be opening up very close to where I live, and I know you want to support it, but if they put out Zima, I know you're going to shit on all over that.
Well, if a brewery is putting out Zima
Or
then,
some, Zima-esque.
Zima-esque.
You don't want to try something different?
something different.
No, that was shit 20 years ago. I'm just letting you know. It's still shit. It
That's
came
what you
back.
got when you literally could not get anything else.
Mickey's Big Mouth was available. God damn it.
Or Milwaukee's best.
So what's the name of this brewery open up by you?
God, I don't even remember the name. It escaped me. It's out by King William. It's actually in King William County. So
okay.
It's a big, huge barn that they redid, and now they're putting something into it. It's a brewery.
Okay.
Well, hopefully it's good, and we get to mention it on a future.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah.
Well, we might
Future episode.
try to get some of that on an episode in the near future. Also, Vazen is opening up at the end of the month, right a couple days after this episode releases in Scott's Edition. So I'm excited to try some of their beers.
It
well.
is
You know
supposed to
what?
open by August.
Yep, July 31st is when they're supposed
That-
to open up.
How many
That
breweries
is
does
what
that
Scott's
make?
Edition needed.
Jesus.
They needed another brewery.
Another brewery.
They needed that. That's
Fuck
what
off.
it was missing.
I love that I can walk 5 minutes in any direction and hit another brewery from the brewery I'm currently at. Like,
Yeah.
Unless it's the Veil, you just skip that one, right?
How much
Yeah, I
does
skipped
that,
the Veil.
How
Fuck
many
that.
does that make?
It's like 6 or 7 in Scott's Edition at this
Alone.
point.
There's
And while
like
you're
15
there-
in
Yeah.
Richmond.
And while you're there, and this is a shameless plug, and they have paid me nothing, but while you're there in Scott's Edition, go to King of Pops and get yourself a goddamn popsicle because, golly, they're good.
Especially in this weather.
Oh man, when it's hot outside, you go get some. They get like just some of the best damn popsicles you'll ever have.
Are
in your
any
life.
of them alcohol
Please,
infused?
no. But I'm telling you.
No,
very
these
difficult,
are
but I
like,
think it can be done.
without being douchey and hipster about it, artisanal popsicles.
They're
like
so good, dude. They're really good.
No, they're
wow.
it's not blue and red flavored. Like these are actual legitimate.
It's not America flavored.
They have Earl Grey tea popsicles, and they're delicious.
What?
I kid you not.
They have an Ovaltine popsicle.
I'm telling you.
All on.
All right. We gotta move on to making a
Sorry.
drunken
The Dakota
scene.
ring
No,
and all.
fair enough.
All right.
So next up is making a drunken scene.
Making a drunken scene.
Yeah.
Sorry, our
Yeah.
nice little music.
See?
You can wake up now.
So we've got three different scenes from three different eras of Keanu Reeves. We've got, of course, Bill and Ted's is going to start. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure from 1989. So this is a scene between Bill, Ted, and Princess Elizabeth. So who's going to be playing Bill?
I'm Bill.
So
Smash.
Kyle Smash is going to be playing Bill. Ted is going to be played by...
It's gonna be by the Bruce.
The Bruce is Ted. And Princess Elizabeth...
Will be played by Edweird.
Edweird.
He does it so well.
The princessiest of us all.
I will be, and this will be definitely the princess from the pit.
Oh God. All right, so this is a scene between the three of them from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Whenever you guys are ready.
How's it going, ladies?
You're the one we saw in front of the castle. I am Ted of San Dimas, and I bring you a message of love. From who? From myself. And what is this message you speak of?
That's the right answer.
Lyrics, dude. Recite them some lyrics.
Oh, you beautiful babes from England, from whom we have traveled through time. We will go to the prom with. Will you go to the prom with us in San Dimas? We will have a most triumphant time.
Way to go, dude.
God damn it.
Yes, well done. Well done.
All right, so that's the thing that happened. So that's...
And you know what? Be excellent to each other.
Party on, dude!
I'm going to be excellent to this beer after that.
Cheers, Bruce.
Holy hell. All right, so that's Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Now, we actually swapped out a scene mainly because we needed Anthony to do something very specific for this.
All right.
This is from 1999 or 2000. It said 99 on IMDb, but I remember it being from 2000 personally.
It's 99.
Is it 99? Okay.
We're gonna party like it.
Get out.
You know what?
Hey,
He's really upset that you
millennial,
stole
baby.
his dad joke.
All right. Yeah, no, I am a little upset he stole a dad joke. All right, but we're doing a scene from The Matrix from 1999. Shut up, Eddie. And so Morpheus will be played by Anthony, and we're just going to let the fans enjoy your version. I will be playing Neo.
Oh, excellent. All right.
So whenever you're ready.
I imagine that right now you're feeling a little bit like Alice. Tumbling down the rabbit hole?
Oh, okay.
Like a tiger face, man.
You could say that.
I see it in your eyes. You have the look of a man who accepts what he sees because he is expecting to wake up. Ironically, that's not far from the truth. Do you believe in fate, Neo?
9, brah.
Why not?
Because I don't like the idea that I'm not in control of my life, brah.
I know exactly what you mean.
I got so hard right now.
Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong with the world. Do you know what it is? But it's like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Is this the feeling that has brought you to me? Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what it is?
Yes.
Night.
The Matrix is everywhere. It's all around us. Even now in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
What truth?
That you are a slave, Neo.
I'm a Jew?
Like everyone else, you were born into bondage. You were born into a prison you cannot taste or see or touch. A prison for your mind.
And you're Egyptian.
Fuck.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh, that prison sounds like it has a lot of gas.
By the
in
way,
it.
that's besides bruh and the Jew comment, like everything else is off the page. You turn him into a Nazi doctor and it changes the thing entirely.
Wait a minute.
No, that was the
Hold on.
most effeminate Nazi doctor of all time.
They never said Jew in the original
No.
movie.
That goes
Super
with
weird.
the Matrix. Always changing the American perspective.
I am gender neutral, and I support all things.
All right, so on that note,
Oh man.
Fraulein too. Hey?
All right.
I feel bad for everyone involved in the next scene.
Why is
One
that?
more because shit.
Yeah, well, that's not even possible.
That's like following up somebody that just like you can tell goes to every karaoke night in town and just nails the fuck out of that one song they can sing well, and then you have to
What,
follow
99
that.
balloons?
Yeah. No, let's be fair. It's always Midnight Train to Georgia. Always. Or it's like a weird dude that loves With or Without You by U2. Like it's one or the other. There's no in between.
What, no
I've never heard
Bon
anybody
Jovi?
do With or Without You on
I do
karaoke.
love that song though.
Whether you would.
No.
Fucking Philly fan.
you.
All right.
It's probably Bon Jovi too.
With or Without You.
I got very little love for the Jovi.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's from Jersey, not Philly, right?
Appropriately.
Yeah.
Tomato.
All right, so next one up on the table is John Wick from 2014. This is a short scene starring John Wick, who will be played by
Yo.
Lowdown and Viggo Tarasov.
It's a Russian name. It's cool.
Tarazov.
There's words.
Vigo the Russian.
His name's Tarazov.
Vigo the Russian.
Vigo the Carpathian.
Yes.
I just watched that the other night, too, by the way.
I'm sorry.
All right, who's playing Vigo?
That would be
That will be Princess Elizabeth. Will be. So whenever you guys are ready.
Vigo?
Yeah?
When Helen died, I lost everything. Till that dog arrived at my doorstep, a final gift from my wife. In that moment, I received some semblance of hope. An opportunity to grieve alone. And your son, it took that from me.
You
Oh, God.
Stole that from me. Killed that from me. People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. So you can either hand over your son, or you can die screaming alongside him.
What are you, Ross Perot?
I got $4 billion.
Can I finish?
Are you all ears? Is that,
all
what's
ears.
happening? All right, so that is
Dear God, we went to Germany and hee-haw in the same...
Yes, we did.
Yes, we
I
did.
think we trampled on fucking Green Acres. Too.
all right. Let's get back to. I mean, we're definitely officially off the rails at this point. But
Oh, give that back.
We still got format.
We got the format, yeah.
to follow.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Format?
We're following
Why
a
is it so hot in
format.
Yeah, this was
Laughing makes you
planned.
sweat. Jesus Christ.
Are you trying to make
right.
us take our clothes off?
Yeah.
I don't think that would be.
Yeah.
That might be all
So-
right for the people on video.
It's a very different
What's
type
up?
of video on YouTube.
No.
How you doing?
So
Joey.
let's to tie into that last bit. Looking at John Wick.
We've barely touched on John Wick,
Yeah.
and for good reason,
Or
because
John's
we started
Wick.
off with the early movies from Keanu Reeves, and this is something that kind of relaunched him a little bit. He wasn't doing a whole lot before John Wick, or not a whole lot of note
Since The Matrix.
since The Matrix.
Right.
Yeah, not a whole lot, but this was one of those where we went, oh, fuck, that's right, Keanu Reeves.
See, now, Street Kings did get actually almost the same score as John Wick as far as Rotten Tomatoes goes.
Street
he's
Kings
correct.
doesn't hold a candle, in my opinion,
No,
to John
well,
Wick.
it's totally different style of movie, but as far as him in that movie, I thought he did a really. I just rewatched it earlier. I thought he did a very good
he
job
did a solid
as
job.
far as that, where he didn't really Keanu it up too much. Like he, even during his racial lines and his racial slangs in that movie, I was like, that was pretty fucking good.
Ooh, triple feature. Street Kings, End of Watch, and Harsh Times.
Harsh Times was not good.
Oh, no, it was good for how bad it was.
End of Watch is really good.
Who's
End of Watch is actually
Batman.
pretty well.
Christian Bale.
Christian
yeah.
Bale.
Val Kilmer.
Christian Bale being like psycho, but being weird, overacting
Well, isn't
psycho.
that David Ayer who also did End of Watch
Yeah, I think so.
and
yeah.
Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Well, you could
Suck
put
it.
Training Day in that mix, but
He
Yeah.
did Training Day too, David Ayer.
Yeah.
But dude, like End of Watch is a really good movie. Have you watched it?
No, I haven't yet.
It's
actually.
a solid fucking
It
movie.
is very
and
good.
it's got my boy Michael Pena
And Jake Gyllenhaal.
and well, I don't give a shit about him.
And it's got the sheriff from Stranger Things.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
all right. So
Anywho.
we got to get into
Yeah.
the
Whatever.
we got to get into the John Wick thing. What John Wick did for Keanu Reeves was basically, in all intents, relaunch his career, because it is the perfect amalgamation of what he's good at in a role.
Not
Okay?
talking and shooting.
when he
And looking really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
when he does talk, he delivers the lines. They're believable. Like, I mean, he delivers the drama in the movie. When he's sad about his wife dying, he's sad about his wife dying. You feel it. It's not like you're not expecting, Academy Award sort of shit, but it is a perfect fucking movie in every way.
I completely agree. I have to think the creator of this movie, the director and everybody had Die Hard in mind. I swear that they did, because of the way that the action scenes were laid out. They were very relentless. You had a large body count, and you had one really good line at the end of each one of them. And I think that that's what they designed it for.
I get that, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but I felt this had such a John Woo like influence, and I love.
Yeah.
You
I
mean
love-
minus the doves?
Fine.
Right.
But I'm just saying the way that it was shot, and yes, absolutely, you see the Die Hard aspect of it, but you see that love for the gun heavy movies, action movies, the John Woo films, and then it yeah, good.
Actually reminded me, and it might be the Russian element as well, but there was a lesser known film starring fucking racer fuckboy that died.
Racer fuck
Paul-
boy.
Razor fuck
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker. Yeah.
Paul Walker.
Racer fuck boy.
Yeah, that was his anime character name.
He died.
Oh,
He died in a car too. That's pretty fucking.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's harsh.
Irony is
Anyway, go ahead.
life.
Anyway, I was never a big fan of his, but this movie that I'm about to mention that John Wick very much reminded me of, he was fantastic in, called Running Scared.
Yes, that movie
that
was
was a
very
great
good.
movie.
I own
Awesome.
that
Great
movie.
movie.
Absolutely, and it was over the top as fuck. It was against the Russian mob, and it was super ultra violent and high intensity, unrealistic as fuck action sequences, and it was balls to the wall the entire time, which is why it reminded me, why John Wick reminded me of it so much. It was a little bit fantasy, like elements kind of tossed in certain moments, especially with the child molester people in Running Scared, that it didn't have in John Wick. But overall, I'd say that it had very much that same tone.
I did enjoy that flick, by the way. What I will say about John Wick is that it bridged the gap between our love of John Woo and the fucking action flick with a realistic, sort of well put together action movie. All the choreography, gun scenes, action sequences, there's Brazilian jiu-jitsu, there is actual like combat, hand gunning happening, all these things that are so much in this motherfucker's wheelhouse right here.
Yeah.
But we saw him.
I have to agree with you. The action in that movie was so fucking smooth. It was relentless, but it was smooth. You had times where they sit down, they have a nice drink, and then shooting would occur, and they would just destroy motherfuckers left and right. But it would be the smoothest transition.
And see, that's what I loved about this. This did for me, with the gun culture, with the shooting culture. It was like watching The Raid and Raid 2, which I thought was better than the first one. But it took that world and it did it right. It did it correctly. And I'm a huge gun nerd, and I am so frustrated with movies when they have unlimited amounts of rounds. Mm-hmm. Okay, right. When you have a magazine that holds 50 million bullets, it takes me out of the film. Mm-hmm. When you look at the guns that he had were the right guns to have for that scene or for that mission, and he had the right amount of rounds. You can actually watch John Wick 2 and count the rounds that he's shooting and go, yes, that's the right amount of rounds for that magazine. And not only that, when he switches from a pistol to an AR or to a rifle or to a or from a rifle to a pistol to a shotgun, the sound changes. You can actually hear when he's shooting the AR-15, you can hear the bolt carrier group hit the back and reload the next round. Mm-hmm. The sound effects were done correctly. The way that he shot them was done correctly. They paid attention to the culture. And in the same way that you see really, really good kung fu done really well, it's not just flailing about and random fighting. It's done with a love for that aspect of culture, and they did that with John Wick.
They got the details right.
Yes.
They got the details where, you can see that, one, he's picked up a weapon before. This is old hat for him. He's like boom, 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 boom. It's easy as riding a bike, as walking downstairs. He's got the muscle memory like you would not believe. It's completely it's completely proper.
He's picked up a pencil before.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they back that up by showing his training videos.
Yes,
which we talked about before. Yeah, I think we've all seen them before. How we're going, the timing of that. The guy who trained him is very well known. I wish, as I was researching him, he's basically trained a lot of movie stars, also trainers who train the movie stars on how to do certain gun sequences. And he's worked with Keanu Reeves since the first one, and when he got to the second one, they started putting his videos out, and they were mind-blowing. Yeah. I couldn't imagine hitting that many targets with that many bullets.
Right.
In such a short amount of time.
And not only that movie plays like a video game. Mm-hmm. He came in with weapons, but then he was just picking up as he went along. I mean, everything. You sit down to the pencil. He was in a video game. You have to do that. You don't just you're not given everything, and that's what you have the whole way through.
But but that thing right there, what you said right there, it plays like a video game, is exactly what this could have been. These movies so easily could have been Hitman.
Oh, no, exactly.
These movies so easily could have been a one note or a one trick pony. I love the way this movie is paced. Both of them. They're paced really well. They slow down at the right times. I loved the intricacies of the hotel itself. When he goes in and says that he's looking for the guy that serves you the wine.
Sommelier.
The sommelier.
Yeah.
When he asks the sommelier,
yeah.
and then he goes in and it's the guy that's selling him the guns. it was so.
And it was the guy from Guardians of the
Refreshing.
Galaxy.
Yes. It was,
Yes.
But I mean,
And
it was great. But
you-
it was so refreshing that happened. It stopped it. We had a little comedic moment. It moved the plot forward, and then we got back to this wonderful fight scene.
And it
And,
fit in that
and you
universe.
were jerking
Great.
off through that whole scene. I know you were.
so
I
good.
know you were.
Well, you could tell that the writer of that and the director timing was their primary focus, whether it was the gun scene or it was the relax, let's have a scotch or a whiskey and let's talk about this. The moment that conversation ended, a gunfight began, and almost perfectly.
Okay, now, who has had a better pencil scene? Keanu Reeves or Heath Ledger?
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, Heath
Okay,
Ledger.
very
Heath
sure.
fucking Ledger.
He made it disappear.
It's gone.
If I remember correctly, the directors of the first one, at least, it was co-directed, were former stuntmen and stunt coordinators
Right.
before they got into the directing side, and that was absolutely noticeable by the action sequences in the first John Wick, especially the first John Wick. I don't know if they directed the second one or if just one of them did. I think at least one of them did.
Yeah.
But there was no slow-mo. There was no Zack Snydering of the situations. It was all real time. But the beauty of it is there's so many times that action sequences are so fast cut that you don't know what's happening. But every motion, every movement you got to see was timed so perfectly. And the distance between the characters, how they interacted with each other was so clear that you were able to enjoy those sequences in such a visceral way. You're there for every moment of it. You can feel it. You can feel the bone crunching. You can feel the gunshots. You don't miss a beat with it. You're right there every single fucking beat.
And you could see that they didn't do the jump cuts like Catwoman, where they have 9 jump cuts in 1 second. You could do point A to point B, and there's 3 minutes of it of him just going to this, and it's one shot
Or
the whole time.
just cleverly disguised cuts.
Well, that's a tremendous respect to Keanu Reeves' love of martial arts because he trained for a long time before he even got this movie.
Yeah.
John Wick, the first one. And then when he came on with skills. And you could tell that.
But I think the danger that you have, we talked about, like you can see everything and they really planned everything out. The danger that you get with that is the Darth Maul fight with in the first in a Phantom Menace. Okay, when it turns into
with
a
Liam
dance,
Liam
Neeson.
Qui-Gon or whatever.
Qui-Gon Jinn, yeah.
Qui-Gon
It
Jinn.
turns into a dance sequence. At no time in either of the John Wick's films did I feel like it was planned.
Yeah.
There's no feeling of this is a planned sequence.
A,
or
B,
this
C,
is a
D,
yeah.
da, da,
They didn't
da,
hit
da,
their
da.
marks.
Yeah.
He really was doing what made sense for him to do next. And that urgency, that spontaneity that comes across visually in the film, and that's really hard to do. It's very hard to film, and I got a lot of respect for the guys and the way that they shot that, and a lot of respect for Keanu. He may not be the best actor as far as how he speaks or what he says or how he delivers a soliloquy. Okay,
But he can punch you in
Okay.
the face with so
But-
much conviction.
But that's the thing. He's a physical actor. And
Yeah,
I think
he
that
is.
we have seen physical. You got in the 30s and the 40s, we appreciated physical actors. Your Buster Keatons. We appreciated somebody who was
Charlie
a good
fucking Chaplin.
Charlie
Oh,
Chaplin.
yeah.
Charlie Chaplin.
We appreciated somebody who was a good physical actor. And what we've seen in Keanu Reeves is that Keanu Reeves is a very, very talented physical actor.
Just not
He's-
a physical comedic actor.
Exactly. He is a physical action star, and he does it very, very well. And that's something that we don't see a lot these days. Yeah.
In the most recent John Wick 2, he relied a lot more on like stuff like Krav Maga and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
And Jim Cotta, a little bit of Jim Cotta in there.
There you go.
For good measure.
To really like, I mean, but that training sold those scenes.
Yes.
Exactly what we were talking about is, when he's, when he gets into a one-on-one with a guy, he rolls backward and flips the motherfucker, some such, he's using his gun as an offensive, like melee weapon. These things are, there are combat tactics that are very known and very deadly, and he trained to do that, and they got it right.
There's a little bit of an American Jackie Chan there.
Yeah,
Perhaps not the best actor in the world, but one of the best physical actors. You know what I'm saying? So
he's killing it.
He's kind of nailing it on that aspect.
Well, you could attribute that to The Matrix.
Yes.
If it hadn't been for that, who knows? He may never have done these movies.
No.
Now, I have a difference of opinion on John Wick 2. We talked about it outside a little bit, that some people in this room like John Wick 2 more than John Wick 1, or
Yes.
they consider it very close to each other.
Yes. Good.
I very much enjoyed John Wick 2. I want to put that out on Front Street before I continue on with what I'm about to say. I felt much like I've seen with bands where they're following a similar formula, but there isn't a lot of soul behind the follow-up albums. That's kind of how I felt with John Wick 1 versus 2. 1 felt hearty, like a hearty meal. I ate it and I felt good. Afterwards, I felt like sustained. John Wick 2 was rice, where 20 minutes later, I'm like, I'm kind of hungry. Like it was a little bit more hollow than the first one.
Here's the difference. John Wick was designed to be a standalone movie. It was super fucking popular, so they're like, sequel. John Wick 2 is the goddamn Empire that Strikes Back, okay? Empire fucking Strikes Back of John Wick. It is, because it was...
Just because it's darker doesn't mean it's better.
It was a meaty fucking movie. A lot of shit happened, and there was a great fucking cliffhanger at the end, okay? The movie was the B+ to the A that fucking John Wick was.
I'll give you that.
It was
That's fine.
tiny step down, but like, I want to see the fucking next movie.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Like I said, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, I agree to an extent, but I think if John Wick 1 was like, a stack of pancakes with butter on it, John Wick 2 was like whipped cream and fucking, syrup poured all over it. Like, it was just, we gave you a little bit of a taste here in the first one, and we're going to give you more. What made the second one better, in my opinion, was the mythos that it built. Although the first one gave you trickles of it, little bits here and there, the second one just in one movie built on it into such a large worldwide scale.
I think the first one was a great introduction into that world, and the second one, it really solidified the world. It let us dig a little bit deeper into that world. And is it a better movie than the first one? No, I don't think it is. I don't think it's a better movie than the first John Wick. But I already knew that world. I knew what I was getting into. So it was a wonderful taste of all of the different aspects of that world, getting to learn about all those things and see them. And it really did whet my appetite for the third one.
We're getting close to the end of the episode, unfortunately. So the one thing that I want to say is that we've barely touched on The Matrix, which I actually see as a good thing, because when we're done with this episode, it makes complete sense to do a Matrix trilogy or a quadrilogy. Animatrix is part of that as well.
Great, yes.
Put that on the books, like, after we're done recording here, and have that as its own episode, because we didn't touch on it enough to really justify, like, not having a Matrix episode.
Right.
So basically, for that episode, you want to be serious with the one on the first half, and then just shit,
and then shit on
there's
the
really
rest.
only one Matrix movie.
Well, no. On Matrix and Animatrix.
Animatrix was good,
Animatrix,
yes.
And then we save the other two for the second half.
I will happily be on that.
Yeah.
On that panel,
Reloaded
just
Revolution deserves it.
Just because I enjoyed the third Matrix movie, and so much so that I will actually say I liked the third Matrix movie.
Oh my god!
So I will happily jump in on that, because I like it.
So you do realize you're going to have a repeat of everybody in this room.
So you're going to be the Kyle Smash on that episode.
I liked the third one.
So you were the Superman fan on that episode.
You like the third one with its like 40-minute long same punch combo scene at the end? That was great.
The
It's
blatant
awesome.
Zaitachi, the blind swordsman homage.
We will get into all of this then, okay?
And there was like 30
God
movies.
damn you.
Shit.
It's your
There
shit,
was
man.
like 30 movies that they stole from. Like,
All right.
Well, duh.
All right.
Anyway,
I want to keep the thing rolling, but I want to roll it back for 1 second and make one last statement.
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry, I'm that guy.
yeah.
Das ist good, yeah.
I want to see John Wick follow like a fucking death wish, have 5 fucking movies, and I would love to see, like, 10 years after the last movie comes out, he does another one that's like History of Violence, where he's grown up, he's old, and he's fucking got a family.
Or
and
like a Rocky Balboa, where I'm getting too old for this shit.
No. It's got to be History of Violence, because like, he's like he's managing a diner or some shit, and people come back for him.
As long as he's got a dog, I'm in.
See, but technically, John Wick's character is almost the same age as Viggo Mortensen's was in History of Violence. So if he's any older, it's going to be like adopted children having grandchildren because he's not going to have any kids.
Which is why I say he needs to do like 3 more movies, like do like 5, and then do that 10 years later.
But then he would be like super old. He wouldn't be like family and all that stuff.
But he has to fight coal miners. The owner of a coal mine. That has to be the primary, because he's old.
10 years from now, there won't be any coal mines.
I know. That's why it's going to be a period piece.
All right, so moving back to, obviously, there are certain talents that Keanu Reeves has. He wouldn't have been doing films for as long as he has if he didn't have skills.
And we wouldn't be talking about him.
And we wouldn't be talking about him if he is immensely likable. And yeah, he's an attractive man with vague ethnicities. Like, you don't know, like,
I think he's Hawaiian.
What is he?
He's Hawaiian.
He's not quite The Rock,
I've
where you
said
don't
the
know.
exact same thing
but
about
he's like-
Lowdown.
He's not Samoan. He's not
attractive
Samoan,
man
but
with
he is
vague
from Hawaii. I think his
ethnicities.
mom's half.
But he's also Canadian, so he's like Canadian.
Yeah, his dad's
and,
Canadian,
and
his
like
mom's
Hawaiian
Hawaiian,
and Samoan. I don't know. There's
He's not Samoan, I promise you.
No, he's not.
Throw it
Samoan.
in there. Go ahead.
he's like the Michelob
He's
ultralight
Chilean.
of Samoan.
Him and The Rock are cousins.
Yeah.
I want to see that
There's
buddy
some
comedy.
Filipino in
That
there.
would be a great
Oh,
buddy
yeah.
movie.
Throw it all out.
No, but that's the thing, is that he's immensely approachable because he covers so many bases on, like, I can approach him both, like, ethnically, maybe, like
with a little bit of fake tan.
yeah, I mean, but also he has an approach to his roles where even when he's trying to be a badass, you're just like, I like you. You know, that there's something about him. Yeah. Except for the scene that I'm about to play. This is really my closing statement on his shitty acting. This is a recent film directed by Eli Roth, where 2 women break down and go into his house when his family's away.
Yes.
And they use the shower and stuff and then seduce him. And then use the seduction as a means for why he's a terrible person. And he has to try to explain away why he cheated on his wife so they don't kill him. This is Knock Knock from, I think, 2014 or 2015. There's
So glad
like
we
a
didn't talk about
45
this.
second, there's a 45 second little bit here that I have to play because it is possibly the best monologue, like long run monologue of Keanu Reeves on the list. So here we go.
Death? You're gonna kill me. You're gonna fucking kill me. Why? Why? Because I fucked you? You fucked me. You fucked me. You came to my house. You came to me. I got you a car. I brought you your clothes. You took a fucking bubble bath. You wanted it. You wanted it. You came out to me. What was I supposed to do? You sucked my cock. You both fucking sucked my cock. It was free pizza. Free fucking pizza. It just shows up at my fucking door.
And
what
that's
am I
the
supposed
title.
to do?
Yeah.
It was
We're
free
flight
pizza.
attendants. Come on, fuck us. No one will know. Come on, fuck us. Oh, 2-somes, 3-somes. It doesn't matter. Starfish, husbands. You don't give a fuck. You'll just fuck anything. You just fuck anything.
So good.
Well, you lied to me. I tried to help you. I let you in. I was a good guy. I'm a good father. And you just fucking fucked me? What? Now you're gonna kill me? You're gonna kill me? Why? Why? You fucked me? What the fuck? Fuck. This is fucking insane.
It's like, is that Nicolas Cage or Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Cage.
Holy shit.
I thought that was the scene
I
from
didn't know
the
her. I
Boondock
didn't
Saints.
hit her.
Who the fuck this fucking goddamn?
It's so good. It's so good. And the thing is, he's tied up with like a fucking like fucking extension cord or something in a chair, and the audio doesn't do it proper justice. Him with like floppy hair yelling at like hot girls off screen. about like how like you sucked my dick, you know, like it's fucking amazing.
It's like free pizza.
Yeah, the free
fucking pizza.
He compared like fucking airline stewardesses sucking his dick to free pizza in this movie.
And both.
Again, he offered to do that job.
He's kind of right there, though.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's like free pizza.
Yeah.
I've never had free pizza, but okay. But
I did back in the 90s
I
while I was
assume it's
30
as
minutes
good.
late.
Yeah, I think it's
Over 30
I think the
minutes.
episode's got to be named Free Pizza. I think. Yeah, I think that's kind of necessary. So I wanted to share that with you guys before we got out of this.
And thank you so much for doing
so I'm
that.
never watching
Appreciate
that
that.
movie.
Oh, you should. It's not good.
No, it's so not good that it's actually good.
So it's basically like every Eli Roth movie where it's definitely not good.
Why do you have a career? Fuck, I can't stop watching.
That's why it's a perfect team up with Keanu Reeves, because I see Keanu Reeves and I go, why do you have a career? Except for both of them, it's that occasionally they hit the right notes.
Right.
Eli Roth knows how to shove as much gore as possible into everything he can possibly shove gore into. And Keanu Reeves, though not a good actor, is lovable and knows how to do fight choreography. And that makes the fucking difference.
I'll say Eli Roth's done two things that I actually enjoyed, and that was the very first Hostel and Cabin Fever.
Yes, Cabin Fever.
Cabin
Was
Fever,
hysterical.
all right.
It was hysterical.
No, Cabin Fever's a terribly good movie.
It was hilarious.
I will say, as much as we love to give shit about Keanu Reeves not being able to act, he has actually turned a few, roles around. My Own Private Idaho, I
Yeah.
enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
As much as it was a strange role, him playing Siddhartha in Little Buddha was actually kind of like different.
Not bad.
Yeah. And, in fucking The Devil's Advocate, as much as that movie was all over the place, he brought it in certain scenes that were necessary. Like when his wife was committing suicide, like I felt that, he was severely fucking like acting right then.
Yeah.
And I dug it.
There's reasons why the things he does are rememberable. Why we can
Rememberable.
Memorable.
I like
Memorable.
that. They're rememberable.
They're rememberable.
We're gonna think about them again later.
We're going to watch
And we
it,
probably
then forget
will.
it, and then remember it. Yeah.
But they are. I mean, everything
there's
he's done, you can go
rememberable.
back and draw on and say, like, oh my God, it either makes me laugh or he was a badass at that point. No matter how bad his acting was, every role he's been in, he's basically made his own.
Yeah. And on that note, we are done with this episode of Geeks Under the Influence. We, of course, can talk so much more about Keanu Reeves. We're going to have a separate episode all about the Matrix trilogy or quadrilogy with Animatrix. It just needs to happen.
Yeah.
We didn't touch on it nearly enough to really do it proper justice. So, and that really does deserve its own episode. So stay tuned for that and plenty more every week on Geeks Under the Influence. You can follow all of that at gypodcast.com. Thank you so much for the use of Little Girl by the Gajira Experiment on the intro, and for the use of Dead by Dawn by our friends in the Creepazoids on the outro. As always, I'm Mike the Hobbit Bickett. Join us or die.
Excellent.
Hey, Hobbit,
Be excellent to each other.
get me two.
Whoa.
Join us or die, or I will swallow your soul. Necronomicon gives us power to rise from the dead. You play to take, our claim begins to spread. You can fight all you want, cause you don't to resist. We're here to take the world and rule with all your fists. So join us or die, or I will swallow your soul.
GUIPodcast.com.